based on the book by Jonathan Ames. You Were Never Really Here is written and directed by Lynne Ramsay, and it stars Joaquin Phoenix. This is exactly the type of movie that I love to watch. I was looking forward to this ever since it won Best Screenplay and Best Actor at the Cannes Film Festival last year. And this was exactly what I hoped and so much more. And this is actually a first on this channel. After watching this movie yesterday, I went out, bought the book, and read it all in one sitting. I've never done something like this before. This is exciting, exhilarating, and I can safely say for once on this channel that after having read the book, the movie is much better than the book. And that's usually unusual, it's usually the opposite. Books have the possibility to tell more, they have no limits, no constraints. But surprisingly enough, the movie has much more depth than the book. And that is definitely thanks to Lynne Ramsay's writing and direction. And the movie could be easily one of those action-packed thrillers a la Taken, with this main character, Joe, who is an ex-FBI agent and a veteran from war, who is saving kidnapped girls from sex trafficking rings, and is living with his mother, and he's having a very lonely life full of suicidal thoughts. And one day he has a new assignment to save the daughter of a senator, and while it seems easy at first, there are many more complications on the way, and there is this big conspiracy that he is swept in by, don't know, whatever. And you've seen this countless times, like this premise, and especially like in Taken, the sex trafficking ring, having to save someone. You've seen this shit. However, this film is more of a Taxi Driver than it is a Taken. This film is essentially just a character study, and I loved every second of it. Even though it's not for everyone, it's not the most enjoyable movie out there, this is the first 5-star best film of the year that I'm giving out. This is the best film that I've seen all year so far, which is not saying much. It's been kind of lame right now, not all that many great or even bad movies, unfortunately, but I can see this staying at the top for quite some time. You Were Never Really Here is an experience from beginning to end. Everything, pretty much literally everything, is told with visuals, with actions. There is barely any dialogue in the movie, and the performance by Joaquin Phoenix, easily his best, or one of his best at least. He completely steals this movie. He brings so much. Just some of the stares that he gives, some of the things that you can see are going through his mind. It's a powerful performance, very powerful performance. And how the movie is handled, it's handled with a lot of care, with a lot of attention, and it is an incredibly violent movie, even though at the same time most of the violence is off screen. You barely ever see actual explicit violence happen on screen. It is usually very detached, seen from afar, or you just see the aftermath of those violent acts. And it's powerful. It hits you even harder than actually seeing those things being committed. And I read a lot of interviews of Ramsay talking about this film. She had very small time to film this, and she wanted to have real action scenes with choreography and everything, but since she needed a lot of days to shoot those scenes and a lot of money, she decided to go on a different route. And what she did is way better than the finished original product would have been had she had the money, because there is one scene in particular with CCTV cameras, and we're not gonna say anything more, but that was a brilliant scene with the editing, the sound design, so good. And the music by Johnny Greenwood, it's amazing, it's incredible. It's the type of soundtrack that just speaks volumes for the character himself. It has a lot of ambient noises, of loud bangings and distorted sounds that just put you in the shoes of Joe and this unstable mind, and how it's slowly deteriorating, and the music gets worse and worse until orchestral music starts coming in. It's of some sort of salvation for the character, of redemption, of a way out of the terrible, miserable life that he's living, even though he's still living with his mother, who is fantastic, played by the beautiful woman of Eraserhead, or The Monster of Dead Silence, if you've seen those two movies. I don't remember the name of the actress, unfortunately, but fantastic. And the pacing, it's slow, it's a slow movie, but it's never boring, at least for me it wasn't. And I found it captivating from beginning to end. So guys, definitely, You Were Never Really Here, one of the best character studies I've seen in quite some time. Thrilling without being the usual thriller, disturbing without really showing anything too disturbing. It's artistic is the best way to put it, even though it sounds incredibly pretentious, but that's it. It's just a movie handled with a lot of care, with a lot of passion, and with a clear vision of what the director and writer wanted to do. So guys, definitely go watch You Were Never Really Here. Even though it's not going to be a movie that appeals to everyone, I loved it. I loved it. But still guys, have you watched You Were Never Really Here? Have you also read the book? Tell me in the comments below. So much more to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.